Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk here at LTF 2024 in Miami is Andres Moreno. He is the founder and CEO at Open English. Andres, wonderful to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
It's a pleasure. So I want to start off by talking about the company. Tell me about Open English and your mission.
So Open English is now the largest online English school in the world. So we have over 2 million students that learn English online via the internet with a live instructor. So just so you get a sense, last year we taught over 7.5 million live classes to people around the world. And it's also a very well-known brand. So if you live in any of the markets where we're present, our biggest markets are Brazil and Spanish-speaking Latin America, the US Hispanic market, Turkey and Middle East, so we're all over the world. But if you live in one of those markets, you've probably seen the brand because we're one of the top 10 TV advertisers. We're very active on digital, and it's become a household name in many of these markets. So we're inspiring people to learn English, not because it's the language of one country, but because it's a tool for success and in advancement in life. And sometimes you lose track of that living in the US because we speak English. But I'll give you one stat and I'll end with that. There are 1.4 billion people around the world learning English as a second language. And guess how many people are learning all the other languages combined?
How many?
300 million. So 1.4 billion just English, 300 million every other language. So you can see that there's a big need to have an effective way to learn English around the world.
And tell me, Andres, how are you different from others that are in this space?
Yeah. So if you live in one of the markets where we are present, you have basically two options to learn English before Open English. You can either go to a brick and mortar school, so you have to get in your car and get to school and be in a classroom full of students. If you've been in a classroom and you've done this many times in your life, you know that it's all about taking notes, so people become like expert at the past participle tense of the verb to be, whatever. But when it comes time to do this and flow in the language and be fluent, it's very difficult for folks. So that's a very stressful situation. And then one of our brand promises is that we have native English-speaking teachers available. So you can access, by the way, anytime, 24/7 from anywhere, and you're going to get a native English-speaking teacher. So compare that to a school that if you're living in, pick any city in the world where we're competing, most of those teachers are hired locally, so they don't have a native intonation or pronunciation vis-a-vis Open English, right? And you're booked for 2 classes a week, right? Tuesday and Thursday night, and if you missed it, you missed it. Whereas Open English is available anytime. Or you could also learn with an app, and there's great apps out there to learn languages, and those are good to learn maybe a word or two or learn vocabulary. But if you really want to be fluent in the language again, I think we all know you need a great teacher. You need to be able to speak the language, right? Because it's a social tool that you have to express yourself with. So Open English is kind of in the middle. It has the convenience of a mobile app because it's available anytime, anywhere, but with the quality of a teacher that you only get in a traditional classroom environment.
And what are your thoughts on the future of AI and how it may affect your business and your customers?
Yeah, we're very excited about AI. Thanks for the question. I think it's a big tailwind for us because now we can complement our live teachers with AI to create the best of both worlds, a hybrid experience. So imagine now, for example, you're going into a live class with a native English-speaking teacher. You take your class, and then afterwards, we actually have an AI tutor called Jenny from California, and she's going to pop up. She's going to analyze everything that you said in the class, and she's going to say, hey, Judy, these are the 10 times you spoke, and these are the ways that you could improve your sentence structure. These are the ways you can improve your pronunciation, and you're going to get all that in your inbox a few minutes later. Or imagine you're in the middle of a class, and you can ask Jenny anything you want. So it's really not a replacement to the teacher, because we think that, again, what we're doing right now is very important. That human interaction, the empathy, the motivation. If you've tried to, for example, get in shape and gone to the gym, you know that even the best program in the world, I can give you like, hey, do 10 sit-ups, do this, but having a trainer at the gym makes a big difference, right? So same thing, having a teacher makes a big, big difference, but having an AI to complement that teacher and go even further and achieve higher outcomes and efficacy for students is critical.
So we're here in Miami at LTF 2024.
Yes, we are.
Tell me, what are you hoping to gain from this gathering of experts and leaders?
This is a very special conference. We get invited to a lot of conferences. First of all, it's small. There's only a couple hundred people here, but it's really the people that you need to see because it's all the top leaders of fast growth stage, LATAM, internet businesses, and their investors. And it's just a great coming together of this community that I've known for years. And I've had probably 13 coffees today, with different people, so highly caffeinated days. But it's a lot of fun to see everybody and reconnect.
Now, as you look ahead to 2024, tell me, what are you focused on? What are your priorities?
Thanks. One thing we found is that there's such a big global opportunity. Back to the fact that there's 1.4 billion people learning English around the world. Huge opportunity to find new markets. So we've already done that by going into, abroad, going into Turkey and Europe, and we've launched now in Saudi Arabia, in Vietnam. So we're pushing into new regions, and that's very exciting to us. And the other part that we're very excited about is our corporate B2B business. We now have over 10,000 companies that have acquired Open English for their employees to sort of accelerate their English. So that's a very fast growth part of our business. We started as a B2C platform, and now it's very much a hybrid between B2C and B2B. And then you asked me about the other one, which is AI. So having Jenny from California, our AI tutor, complement our teachers, right? And we taught over 7 million live classes last year. So that's a lot of live classes. So imagine now feeding that into an AI model and getting all those great insights and giving that back to our students is a very special and transformational moment for them. And it's something that we couldn't do a few years ago.
And finally, if you could invent any gadget that would make your life easier as a tech founder, tell me, what would it be?
Interesting. Well, I think that in the age of AI, maybe we could have like an accelerated AI decision maker where you can press a button, you tell it your problems, and it sort of gives you an implicit solution, so it can sort of accelerate decision making. How about that?
I like it.
You can just hang it on your print. You just hit it whenever you need a little help making a choice in life.
Sounds like a great invention. Andreas, it's wonderful to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
Thank you for having me. It's wonderful. Thank you.